David Seven, aka Diz, and this is The Force Always.
Okay, so welcome to the show The Force Always, coming from a partly assembled set. But let's get on with the Star Wars news. Anyway, so Star Wars Visions, it's a series for Disney Plus, is coming this September. It's called Visions by Star Wars on Disney Plus. It had its trailer preview type of thing happen today. You can check that out online. I'll be giving you a review of the preview later on in the show. Anyway, to more news. Speaking of Disney Plus, The Bad Batch is continuing, and we have had 2 last episodes, which I'll give you a quick review now. It's hovering at about 7 out of 10. The last one was Common Ground. That one seemed to be the better one of the last 2. It's very similar sort of consistency anyway, sort of the way the story's unfolding. But yeah, so that's pretty much how the story is going with The Bad Batch. We are getting a bit of a reveal from the main character, Omega. We're all suspecting that it's going to be a bit more emotional link to the family of Boba Fett, or Boba Fett, whatever you like to pronounce it as. So anyway, so basically, yeah, The Bad Batch is continuing. Common Ground was the last one. That was episode 9, I think it was. And still on Friday nights here in Australia, Melbourne, Australia, at about 6 or 7 p.m, depends on when it does get uploaded. But anyway, so that's The Bad Batch. As a quick review for that one, I just thought I'd put it in the actual news part of this week, because I've got a bit of a more review of the Visions later on in the show, as I've said. But anyway, to more news. There could be a possibility that Boba Fett's starship, could be renamed from Slave 1 to Boba Fett's starship. This has a bit of relevancy to the common person, but for us hardcore fans, we know it's pretty much Slave 1. Possibly the name Slave 1 could be bringing something down of some sort of people that may be offended. For me, it's just a name that sort of sounds a bit unusual, but it's that Star Wars. But anyway, it could be getting renamed. We don't know. It seems like it could be known as Boba Fett, or Boba Fett's starship. Anyway, so that's pretty much the news for this time around. Let's get into views. Views is my story idea that I have within Star Wars. Anything with story ideas. It could be soundtrack, a story to a soundtrack. It could be a poster. It could be a movie. But anyway, this week's story is going to be the type of story I would like to see happen within this Visions. Visions are short stories created by anime artists about Star Wars. Now, there's 2 ways you can go about this. Recreating scenes that we've already seen within Star Wars that is iconic, or going the original route, as you would say, or here in Australia we say route. But anyway, I think personally the story needs to be original ideas to the storyline of Star Wars. That's the canon storyline of Star Wars. I think original is what I would do, and personally I think that's what should be done, as it will keep the Star Wars fans, hardcore Star Wars fans, happy in getting some more information about stories. But yet again, Star Wars is becoming a big storyline mess at times, where you need to really figure out where you are, when you are, how you are, for the story writer and even the story viewer. But I think, yeah, so that's what I would do. This Visions show should have stories that are in anime, as we know, but it needs to be original stories to the storyline, canon storyline. That's what I think. Anyway, and that's the views for this time around. Let's now get into reviews. Reviews this time around is of the trailer preview to the Visions. It's my review of a preview, which is the trailer. So pretty much the trailer was a documentary type of style of trailer rather than this sort of impactful 2 minute sort of tease or something like that. It really sort of went behind the scenes of what's going to be happening. I thought it was a well put together preview trailer. You can't do any better than that. But I think what's coming for Visions, in my mind, it didn't really get me excited. It does look interesting, but I'm not really excited for it. It just seems to be something like, having the fans satisfied with something that's different. Maybe they're using this for a deliberate reason for their future. I don't know, but I think it's not an exciting sort of thing. I give the preview to this Visions probably a 6.5 out of 10. It really is not really the trailer, and the trailer is set well, but it didn't create excitement. I don't know why exactly they're doing this type of show. There's obviously a reason behind it for future possible Star Wars. Maybe it's just the sake of having that Japanese look or something to do with it. I don't know, but the Japanese look is not the problem. Anime is not the problem. It just wasn't really exciting, the whole sort of feel of what's going to happen with Visions. But it's coming out September. I give, again, 6.5 out of 10 for this particular preview and that's my review of the Visions trailer. That is online now, you can check it out. Anyway, so that's the review section. Let's get into interviews. Interviews is 2 questions we'll ask myself for you guys out there. First question is, where does Visions sit with me in all the new Disney Plus shows coming out? Well, I would say very, very low, almost the bottom. It's just not exciting. As I've said just before, I think it just doesn't present something that's fun and exciting. Anyway, so I just think it's very low. That's what I think. So my next question: what show coming to Disney Plus for me right now is sitting very high, probably the highest? So there's 2, but one is becoming a bit more higher than the other, only because of the idea behind it. Andor is one, and the other one is the Acolyte. Acolyte was always interesting to myself to see what that could bring. But there's been news that it's going to be a female evil character, almost like a Sith Lord, maybe. That's going to be the front and center of the show, and it's going to be before the Phantom Menace times, just before, and I think that sort of creates a real possibility in a goth sort of way. I'd love to see a bit of gothic sort of feel to Star Wars, a bit more sort of deep and darkness to it. And the Acolyte, sort of the actual name, the look of it, the sound, even the logo has a real sort of intensity about it. So, but that's the one that's really sitting the highest at the moment. Acolyte. The Acolyte is the most interesting show for me at the moment. I think Andor is going to be pretty good, but Acolyte, from the news that I've heard, that it's going to be an evil female front and center character, I think it's great. I know that there's this whole problem within Star Wars that they're sort of doing certain size people, certain sex people, like male or female, certain color people, black or white, for deliberate reasons. To me, that's just that's a part of the art. There's reasons behind everything. You really do have to think about what you're doing and why you're doing it. I mean, you don't always have to have stereotypical ideas about, black or white people or female or male people. You don't have to stick on the stereotypical way, but at the same time, you need to sort of have a reason behind your artistic decision, and for example, the Acolyte's going to have a female evil lead character, and I think that's a great idea. So anyway, so that's that's the answer to my question. Is my question for you guys out there. I'm looking forward. Probably the Acolyte is the most looking forward show that I have right now. Anyway, so look, it has been quite a bit of an adjustment for myself at the moment. I have been working very hard in the moving process, just from one place to another in life, and work wise as well. I have been doing some let's say movie type stuff as well, which has been keeping me busy at nights. So I'm really full on, and then anyway, this is a weekly-ish show. This show will keep rocking, as I say, and you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram. The details are down below as per usual, or even YouTube. Message me, whatever you like. Any questions, comment, whatever you like to say. And until next week, my friends, keep rocking.